How are you going with the stock take?
Just about done. You have 3 lots of 10 on this side and 2 lots of 10 on this side. That's 50. Plus the 7 display items, that's 57. And the 10 boxes of 10, that's 100 over there. So that makes 157 all up. I will just enter that on my stock take sheet. 157 units at $1,500 each makes $235,500.
Have you checked that your stock take is in our inventory record?
Okay, I'll do that. I see it is already there. 157 computers at $1,500. That's a total of $235,500. But the date says 31 May 2013.
Yes, I did the stock take as soon as we closed yesterday. And our closing stock from last month will be our opening stock for this month. So that's an important thing you'll learn in accounting, that every time you have a closing balance in one month, that becomes our opening balance of the next month. Closing balance of 1 year becomes the opening balance of the next year. But that's good. So we're off to the month with our first record correct. Wow, I think here comes our first customer.
I need 17 computers urgently, please. How much will it be?
Computers are selling this week for $2,100 each, plus GST.
How much is that?
GST is 10%, and that means it is $210 per computer, and each computer will be $2,310. I will just put that in the cash register. 17 computers at $2,100 each is $35,700 plus GST of 10% is another $3,570.
This is weird. You said GST is 10%, but $3,570 is less than 10% of $39,270.
GST is goods and services tax. We collect goods and services tax on behalf of the Australian Tax Office, and we pay this to the tax office when we lodge our BAS, that is our business activity statement. Also, when we lodge that BAS, if we've paid GST to others, when we've purchased items for them and they've collected it on behalf of the tax office, then we will get a credit for those items. Yes, you are correct that GST is 10%, but that's 10% on the cost of the item. So let's see what happens to that. Say you have an item that costs $100. You take 10%, the GST, that is $10, and you add those two items together, so the amount you pay is in fact $110. That's made up of the $100 for the price plus 10% that is collected on behalf of the ATO. So therefore, GST, you will see, is only 1/11 of the amount you pay, which is just over 9%.
Fred, this is all summarised in your invoice. It is number 241.
I would like that on my account, please, and I have been promised a big discount if I pay early.
Yes, Fred, that can go on your account. Our terms are that you must pay within 30 days. However, for you this month, if you pay within 10 days, you will get a 10% discount. Would you like those computers delivered, Fred? I will take them out to the truck for you, which is sitting out the front. I'd better record that information in my journal.
If you make a sale on credit, it goes in the sales journal. So yes, this is a sale on credit. Sometimes people find this easy to remember by calling it the credit sales journal, because it records all of the credit sales we make. So let's go to the credit sales journal, which we see here, and enter this transaction in this journal.
So now open up the sales journal. Okay, date is 1 June. Account is Fred Flintstone. Invoice number is 241. Terms, there is no space for terms.
Typically, we give the same terms to all our customers, and so we don't need a terms column. But Fred is special in this instance, and so we'd better note that down. This is a 10% discount. If it's paid within 10 days, we write that as what's referred to as 1010. But if it's not paid within 10 days, there is no discount, but it must be paid for within 30 days. And we record that as N30. So there's Fred's terms of trade, 1010 net 30.
Fred owes us a total of $39,270, and so that is the amount that goes in the debits column. That is made up of two components, $35,700 for the sales and $3,570 GST. So that is credit sales of $35,700 and credit GST $3,570.
One thing you will notice is that as we got the amounts correct, all the names correct, the cells went green. So that's just your check to say that you're getting the right items in. This will not work for everyone. This only works on more recent versions of Excel.
Our inventory is going to fall by 17 computers, and so I will need to record that as well. 17 computers that cost us $1,500 each is $25,500. So our cost of goods sold is a debit of $25,500, and our inventory will fall by $25,500. So that is a credit to inventory by that amount.
We can write both of these items in the one column because our inventory will always fall by our cost of goods sold. And so these items are the same in every single transaction.
I had also better update the inventory record to reflect our fall in inventory.
So we've got the 157 computers we had at the start. We've just sold 17 of them, so that moves down to 140. We had $235,500 was the total cost of our inventory, and that has now fallen by $25,500, which will give us $210,000. If we divide the $210,000 by the 140 computers we have left, we see that our unit cost of inventory has not changed. Unit cost will only change when we add items of inventory, not when we take items out. So I need to put in the date. And it hasn't gone green, but it is correct.
Now, is there anything else we need to do?
Let's go to the Accounts Receivable Subsidiary Ledger and down to the account of Fred Flintstone. And we'll notice that Fred has an opening balance on June 1st, June 1 opening balance of $4,400. And that's a debit because the normal balance of an asset is a debit. Now, some of you would already appreciate that $4,400 is likely to be made up of $4,000 worth of sales and $400 of GST. We could also verify this information against the aged debtor listing, and we'll talk more about this much later. But it takes the accounts receivable record and ages them. That means for each client, we not only display how much they owe us, but how long they have owed each amount. And if you look at that for Fred Flintstone, you would notice that he's owed us that money for some time. Now, that's not an issue now, but it's something we'll need to investigate later. Now, to enter the transaction for this month, or for this sale, we need to enter June, the date 1. The explanation is a credit sale. The reference we'll put in here will be S1. S1 stands, the S stands for the sales journal, and the 1 is page 1. Now, we've only got one page here, so that's become page 1. What's the debit? Well, we'll go back to the sales journal and we'll have a look, and we'll see debit, accounts receivable Fred Flintstone, $39,270. We need to add that to what Fred already owed us, and we'll see that Fred now owes us a total of $43,670, which of course will be a debit. This reference column here, sales 1, that, as we just saw, that tells us where the information comes from. And that's important for a concept related to an audit trail. Every transaction you need to be able to trace back to its source documents. Every item in a financial statement you need to be able to trace back to a source document. So now let's go back to the special journal and we go to the reference column, and here I'm going to put in a T. Now that T is computer talk for a tick. Before computers came along, this would have been a manual record, and we would have put a tick in that column to indicate we've posted this to the subsidiary ledger account of Fred Flintstone. But that T means that's what we've done. That's just like putting a tick. This process of taking the $39,200 and putting it in the subsidiary ledger is what we call posting. Is that all we need to do for this transaction?
In the sales journal, we recorded the fact that we made sales of $35,700. We also recorded that we collected $3,570 GST. That means that Fred owes us a total of $39,270, and we recorded this amount in the Accounts Receivable debit column. We also updated Fred's account for $39,270. And we recorded our cost of goods sold was $25,500, and so our inventory fell by $25,500. This meant that we also recorded that change to our inventory, and when I take Fred's 17 computers out to the truck to deliver them, we will only have 140 computers left. Wow, there is a lot we need to make visible just for one sale.